Hi, I'm Amy Baxter, editor of Retail Leader, and welcome to Trend Talk. Every week on Trend Talk, we chat with an industry expert about ongoing retail trends and news. My guest this week is Hana Ben-Shabat, author of Gen Z 360, Preparing for the Inevitable Change in Culture, Work, and Commerce. And we're diving into understanding Gen Z's impact in retail and beyond. Hana is also an upcoming featured author for Retail Leaders Book Club with a Meet the Author coffee hour in June. So stay tuned for that great event. And with that, welcome Hana. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Let's dive into some of the common knowledge that we should all have from your research on this generation. So what are some of the unique traits of Gen Z, and why is this generation like no other?
It is a generation like no other for, I would say, three main reasons. The first is diversity. This is the most diverse generation to ever live in this country. 48% are minorities, but I believe that the diversity for this generation is more than simple demographic statistic. It is a cultural and social lens through which they view the world around them. And as a result, also bring huge amount of expectations when they interact with retailers, with brands, with future employers. So it's something that is very defining feature of who they are and how they view the world. The second thing is obviously the technology and connectivity. This is a generation that grew up not knowing a world without a search engine, mobile phone, or social media. And 87% of Gen Z had access to cell phone before they were 15 years old. And that, of course, affects everything they do. The way they think, the way they learn, the way they form relationships, the way they connect with one another. It's more than a defining factor. It's a way of life. When you ask a Gen Z what role technology plays in your life, they look at you as you came from the space, because they just don't understand the question. Technology is life. It's how everything is happening. It's how they manage the day to day. So I think that's the connectivity for this generation is a much more important and defining factor than it is for everyone else who is using technology. And I think the third, which is the result of the second, is the level of engagement. As a result of having that level of connectivity that they have, Gen Z has been exposed to everything that is happening around them in their social life, in their neighborhoods, in their town or in their country, and obviously in the world, in a more direct way than any other generation before them. And I think having that level of exposure also creates a willingness to ask questions and ask why things have not changed, why we are dealing with issues like, racial justice or gender equality. These are issues that persisted for years, and they see all these issues and they are exposed to them at a very young age, and they are asking a lot of questions and also willing to take actions as a result. So I think it's true for every generation before them, but I don't think no generation before Gen Z has experienced so many events in such a short time and in a visceral way that you see this generation going through, experiencing things as they happen through their phones and through their computers. And that's, again, affecting a lot of their behaviors and thinking and views of the world.
This leads me to my next question. Big question for the retail industry. What do Gen Z consumers want from retailers?
So I think the first thing that retailers need to understand is that for Gen Z, the separation between online and offline just does not exist. For them, there is one retail, and they access that one retail from different touch points, which means that you really have to think about yourself as a manager of multiple touch points, the store being one of it. Because discovery happens on social media. Sometimes testing could happen by ordering something and trying it on, and then later on deciding if I want to order more, and then I go to store and get something. So, the whole notion of the purchase, the path to purchase is no longer linear. It's even that is outdated in a way, because it's not only anymore about the non-linearity. It's just that this generation doesn't think this way, and you have to get into their mindset and understand that for them it's only one thing, and you have to manage touch points. The two most important things about the online world is the outstanding opportunity for discovery and the ability to personalize. So I think now that we're going back to stores after the pandemic, what do you do in store is becoming very important, because frankly, if it's more fun to scroll through an Instagram feed, why would anyone come to a store? And I think it's thinking about what do you do in the arena of discovery and personalization that you could really provide that level of experience that people get used to when they are online. And I think that's not an easy thing to do. But I believe that retailers who are able to crack that, how do you offer discovery? How do you take consumers through a journey that allow them to discover instead of sell? I think that's going to be critical. And then come personalization. And I know, many retailers are investing in technology that allow them to do that. And we're going to see more and more of that, because the more accurate the targeting, the more personalized are the offer, the more success they're going to be.